Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here. Welcome to episode number 48 of my Lower League Management playthrough in Football Manager 2016 with FC United. And as you know, we are in Sky Bet League 2 now. Things are coming along really nicely, just where I left off last time, getting promoted. But the club is really starting to progress, and I'll go through that in this episode. We made transfers and just the general club improvements. But as you can see, expectations, like every season when we've gotten a promotion, the expectations is just to fight bravely against relegation for this season. FA Cup is the expectation to reach the 4th qualifying round, and then Capital One Cup and Johnston's Paint Trophy is just don't get outclassed. So basically expected to get knocked out right away, but they don't want us to get outclassed, like not having a big defeat like 5-0 or something like that, which I've been able to avoid so far. I don't think I've had a really terrible loss, even when we've faced a better team. Remember, we faced a League One team in the FA Cup last season, and we lost, of course, but respectable. We even got a draw in the first game, then lost on the repeats. But we do have the first round draw of the Johnstone's Paint Trophy North, the first round. So the 16 teams, you can see there's some big names now because we are in the Football League, some familiar names opposed to those lower league teams, and we get drawn away against Preston. That's a hard draw. Preston, their media prediction is 4, so one of the hardest teams to come up against. There's 3 cup competitions we're going to be in this season, technically, but I'm not sure how long we're going to last in all of them. We'll just have to see, but I suppose it's good practice. We're not going to be expected to win any of these competitions. It's just, for that reason, basically. So I'm going to start with the board. We'll go to the board and, where are we? Board. There we are. Professional status. When we got promoted to League 2, I went to the board and I said it would be a good idea if we could be a professional club now opposed to semi-professional, and that went through, and 100% professional now. So basically we can offer players full-time contracts, which is so important, especially with training more specifically, because this is their full-time job, coming in every day. I'm sure they'll have day offs or whatever, but being a full-time player is so important. And also the training facilities, that's been a while, for about a year. It's taken a year to complete, and it hasn't completed yet, but as you can see, it's going to be completed very, very shortly, and that's so important for us. That was our big investment. Our last improving on the training facilities in 2017, that was really cheap, by my memory. It was like 90k or something like that, 95k, and this one was around 700k, so it was a bigger investment, and I'd like to think it'll be a bigger improvement as well, because if we go again, we'll go to the facilities, and you can see our current training facilities is still basic. Our facilities don't look amazing, that's for sure right now. Also, I want to check out the finances. As you can see, the current overall balance is 439. So even after spending, if we go to the expenditure from last season, you can see there was a big in the ground maintenance. That would have been the improvement of the training facilities. As you can see, amount of money spent on maintenance and upkeep of the ground and training facilities. So it's more so training facilities, maybe a little bit of the upkeep of the ground, but the majority of it was around the 700k improving the training facilities. So that's one part. Both that and being a professional club now opposed to semi-professional. And now I suppose we'll just get into the exciting part, the transfers. And we did bring in more players than we let go of, so that's something you notice immediately. And with these signings, there is so many. This is probably going to be a long episode because with these transfers, I'm going to be really in-depth. Maybe you'll notice a few names already, some big names, and maybe some players you don't know because they're regens. But the players we let go of, or they ran out of their contracts, more specifically, Adam Cunnington, Wayne Brooksby, Ed Harris, he gave away too many cards and had too many suspensions last season. I thought his quality might be good enough, but his proneness to giving away cards and getting suspensions is a bit more than that, unfortunately. That comes first. You need to be playing, really, not missing crucial games, especially in a tough division now compared to leagues who have played in previously. Conference, this is professional football level, not semi-professional. not part-time. We're in the real stuff now. But yeah, Andrew Fox, David Sheridan, he was a youth player, didn't really do anything. Sam Walker, I just didn't offer him a new contract, and he was on a month-to-month contract, but yeah, Macclesfield made the offer, and I thought with the players I brought in, he was 32. He was our captain also, but I just felt he's technical. When we get in the conference leagues, I feel as though, conference and lower anyway, I feel mental attributes and physicals are really important, but once you go up the divisions, you need to be a technically gifted player, but unfortunately, he lacks in that area. He suits conference, so yeah, he'll be a good signing for them. His mentals will show, his leadership most definitely, so I hope he goes well. Scott Leather, also the final one, just clicked on him. You don't really need to see him, you know those lads. And I'll just go to the under-21s shortly, and one player, Matt Robinson, he's still unhappy, so I tried to transfer list him. He's wanted by a club, so again, I'll just offer to clubs, 0. One team actually accepted that kind of offer. They went in, but he didn't accept the contract. That's the way it goes. But now, exciting times. And yeah, it's sorted by the date. Actually, before I do this, I'll just keep you in a little bit of suspense. I'll do the staff, give you the staffing updates, so you can get an idea, who's part of the coaching setup. And because we're a professional club now, they allowed us to sign another physio. So we signed up Simon Tubb, 38 years old, is physio, obviously, and physiotherapy is 15, so that's fairly solid for a club of our level. And we signed another scout in Lewis Taylor, pretty decent. He was one of the better scouts that wanted to join in terms of judging player ability and potential. He was one of the highest to go along with our current scout. And then Gareth Roberts as our under-21s manager. It's good to have someone to manage the under-21 team because I'm going to have some more younger players in there. You saw I did sign a lot of players, so a couple of our younger regen types might be staying in the under-21s, apart from the guys that are good enough for the first team already. But yeah, you'll see with that. And he comes in as a good coach, not just under-21s manager, but he's got 15 for defending and then 17 working with youngsters, so he can train those younger lads and still be a good defensive coach, and still only 41. Then also Cliff Byrne, another defensive coach, 19. That's really, really good. I feel we need to be working well. That's something I'm going to be really focusing on. It's something I haven't focused on in the past. Leave your thoughts in the comments. How important are good coaches to be that affect your results? Pretty much, if you have good defensive coaches, like really high rating, do you notice you don't concede many goals, you just play better defensively? Hopefully that will be the case. We'll definitely need that season, so this season, so good coach to get in. And then also Alan Connell, I thought I'll get defensive coach, and he was the best that wanted to join us anyway, with 17 attacking, then also 14 technical, only 36 as well, coming off retiring really as a player. So I think he can progress. He's also maybe could be a manager in the future, because he's got assistant manager there, staff role, and then manager a little bit as he maybe progresses if he's ever assistant manager. But those other staff, again, we'll go through them quickly because maybe not so important. You want to see the players. But anyway, yeah, we'll go through by the date we sign them. Lee Collins, first signing, defensive player, natural in all defensive positions. Left back, right back, and centre back, coming from Mansfield. He played in League 2 in the first 2 seasons, so his experience, and he's not too old yet. Like, he's 30, so he's not going to be decreasing majorly. He's still a good player. Definitely, he might decrease a little bit, but you won't see major movement in his attributes, I'd like to think, anyway. And in the conference, he was a pretty good defender last season. I think I remember coming up against him when we played Mansfield. Brings experience, leadership, not major like Sam Walker had, but still 13, and his experience will show at the back, I think. Again, not too many lower attributes that are important for his game anyway, and he's decent passing, 10, so that's a good thing. Hopefully won't make too many errors. Then Alex Palmer. I love these players when they have those really professional photos, like mostly Premier League teams. You see, yeah, he comes from West Brom, who actually gave him a start in the Premier League in the 2016-17 season. So a few seasons ago now, but that's huge. He's played a Premier League game, started. So it wasn't like an injury during the game and he came on. They chose him to start. So they must have thought he was all right, and he was wanted by a few other clubs, as you can see there. So definite definite interest in him, and he's got the potential. And also because these players are newly signed, you can't see their potential because obviously the coaches need to see a bit of them at the club, I think a month or so or something like that, at least a few weeks, so you can understand the players. But some I remember from the scout reports, and Alex Palmer was League One potential, and it should be the same once the coaches. The only thing is his height, 183 centimeters, but we'll just have to see how he performs. He was a free signing. I thought he'll be decent for a backup as a younger type. And then next up, probably the biggest name you'll notice here, Kieran Richardson. Of course, he's 34 years old. Physically, you could say depleted, but he's still naturally fit. He's still got 15 natural fitness. Again, you know that attribute. It basically means a player can hold their ability for as long as possible. That's why he's still held some decent, not amazing, but I think amazing for League 2. I think he'll be a good player. Those technicals and mentals, they are pretty strong. More so, mentals don't decrease too much. If anything, they improve as you get older. But once you get to this age, they generally stay the same. But sometimes even you see arrows going up. But technically still really strong. And he should hold those technicals. They won't decrease massively because of his natural fitness. Being 15, that's fairly decent. Obviously starts at Aston Villa. So a first teamer as well. Even though he only played one game in the league and one in the cup, he starts as a first team, like a player in the squad, part of the first team squad for Aston Villa, but obviously not good enough. Then he moved on to Portland in the MLS, and you got to be honest, he didn't do too well there, but still League 2. I don't think MLS level. MLS is probably League 1 to Championship, I'd like to say, but that's also coming from someone who doesn't watch the MLS so often, just judging off the quality of players. But I think he'll be a valuable signing down the left side as a left back or a left winger. And then we've got Fulton. He has been improving a lot. This guy is one of those regions with high potential. I think it was about League 1 Championship. He wasn't at he wasn't at a team previously, so don't think he came through our youth academy. He didn't. Obviously, he didn't come through the youth intake. I just found him while scouting or searching for players by attributes or searching for young players. That's how I found all these regions, if you're wondering, by attributes, and set the age like 18 or younger, 19 or younger. And he looks pretty good. If you go to his reports, you can... I prefer playing him centre mid, not left mid. Even though he's well down there, I feel as though he can progress a lot. He could be good enough for this season. His technique is really good, 14. You look at those specific attributes. Again, not too many lower attributes. A few like marking, finishing, heading. But those are going to improve. Only 16, don't forget. He's part of the first team at the minute, but I may put him in the under-21s. Or even under-18s, but I think he's quality. So probably good enough for under-21s. And then Chris Barker. He is on loan from our parent club, Peterborough. At the point I signed him anyway, we really needed a striker. We needed to bring in a striker, and you can see he's currently rated best striker. George Maris last season. Simon Thompson was a new signing. We'll get to him. You probably don't know who he is because he is a regen as well, like this guy, but he's a permanent signing, not a loan. Chris Barker's got potential to be a championship striker in the future, so Peterborough might want to keep him. I don't know. He could be alright. But again, you see he was out on loan in the conference last season, was decent. And obviously he's only going to keep getting better. As you can see, that's good to see the progression. Maybe he could be good. We'll just have to see. And then we signed Dominic McHale from Birmingham. Leave in the comments if you know who this guy is, because he's got 5-star report. Those gold 5 stars get you excited. Again, doesn't show his potential, but when I scouted him, it said he has leading championship potential. You might look at him and you could say, you've had similar players to this, like young wingers, and they haven't done the job for you. They haven't been good. Like in the conference, I had similar players, wingers in terms of rating, but the thing is, they didn't have potential to be a champion, it said leading championship as well from a decent scout for judging potential anyway. So I probably want to get him on a bigger contract as well, but at the time he just wanted that 12-month, 1-year contract. But he's got a lot of potential, and he seems like one of those good attacking young English players. Like obviously not the same quality, but someone like Sterling as well, a winger out wide. I wouldn't say he looks like him, but yeah, he seems that kind of player, like that quicker winger, even though 12 pace only, working on that, as I think you need to do that in the players' early days, work on their physicals, because when they get about 21, 22, they don't really progress in those as much anymore. But on to the next signing. We have made a lot of signings, most definitely. Axel Ondrasen. I think that's how you say his name. Obviously, you can see he's a stronger type, really tall. Tackling's only 11. Like, I say only 11 now. In previous years, that would be a good attribute for us. But yeah, he's really well-rounded, has strong attributes. Actually, I wouldn't say, like, he's well-rounded in the important attributes, but then he's got a lot of lower ones. Like, stamina I'm working on, that's only 5, and he's very slow. But that's what you expect. Like, if he was faster, he'll be a higher quality, and we wouldn't have him. So, I think he could be good. Obviously, if we partner him with a centre-back that's not as slow. But he's a guy, again, he had League 1 potential. So, yeah, a few of these players that can help us progress the divisions. Or David McGregor. He was another youth player we brought in. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to mix experience. Like, I want to build a good enough first team with the experience to make sure we stay in this division, don't get relegated, of course. Even though in the back of my mind, I'll be eyeing another promotion. Just got to see how the season goes, because I am really happy with my signings. David McGregor, again, doesn't show his potential, but I believe his was championship as well. If we go, yeah, he was at Huddersfield, so I'm surprised if they're in championship. He had championship potential. They let him go. But only at 19, he's good enough for the first team. Second best defensive midfielder, but if you go to the midfielder centre role, or position, he's right up there with Jack Phillips, O'Driscoll, players that have been part of the first team, and he's only 19, so he's going to only get better. Give him first team game time, and with our training facilities improving, our players will develop a bit more through that, not just through game time. Next up, Tom Pearson. He's natural as a right midfielder, but it's weird because he only has 3 dribbling, but I did initially sign him as a backup at right back because I saw he could play right back as well. Tackling and marking wasn't terrible, but then I noticed his positioning and anticipation isn't the highest, which is important for a defensive player, but he could play a more defensive role if we start him on the bench or something and we're winning a game. We could change the right winger to a right midfielder and be a bit more defensive, and he's only 22. He's got the potential as well. 5-star report coming from Cardiff. Could be alright, depends how much his actual potential is. Marcus Maddison, again, more of a first-team player now. These kind of signings is what's going to, at least, at a minimum, keep us in this division. Again, you can see these kind of teams. Teams like Shrewsbury and Crewe were interested in him. So, he was a good signing. You'll notice the wages are increased on these players, but that's what I did. Like, these players, he was one of the few, and we'll talk about this with a few other players, someone very in particular, but we had to offer him we had to make the first offer. You know, that option, he said, I'm not really interested in joining, you have to make the first offer. So Marcus Maddison, we had to pay him some decent money, and he did want to join. He's going to be an important player, especially as he can play 3 positions naturally in our formation. Those 3 attacking positions could be a good signing for us. Again, if you go to his history, Peterborough, and of course, Parent Club, but that wasn't really part of the deal or anything. We didn't get him because they were our parent club. Just that's the way it panned out. He hasn't played in League 2 so far in this save because he's been in a higher division. He wasn't loaned out though. So Peterborough saw him I don't know if he was sitting in the under-21s a lot, in the reserves, or in the first team squad, but never really got a look in, because that was the case. So I think he could be good for League 2, and especially they got promoted to Championship, so I'm really happy they're doing well, because they could help us. Imagine, I don't think they can get to the Premier League the next season, but they'll get better quality players in, could help us with loan agreements. And when they have a youth player that's still decent, but not good enough for like Championship now. So that'll be good for us. David Stevens, another good signing, centre-back. I was really happy with this signing. Another strong centre-back, another tall and strong centre-back. The same case once more. He didn't really have much interest to join. He wanted me to make the first offer. We gave him the money he wanted. And we've got a decent play. Because of the money we had 15k to play with. You watched the last episode. If you didn't, you should most definitely. But yeah, we could offer a decent amount to players, and quite a few players as well, because we had the money there. And he can be good. 27 years of age. Oh, and there's something I want to show you. The first season, he's in League 1. for Coventry, and he got a 7.26 rating, scored 4 goals, obviously, no doubt his height, got 2 assists as well. What's his passing like? Okay, maybe there's just, one of those, a few lucky occasions where you get an assist as a centre-back, but again, teams like Sheffield United, Shrewsbury, Rochdale, teams in the Football League wanted him. And that's ridiculous. First season in the division that's one above us, League One. We're in League Two now, and he killed it with that rating. And you look next season, League Two, he didn't do that well, 6.8, but he only started 7 games, and once more he scored. But then look in the Cup, 5 appearances and 7.12. Very good rating. Then the next season, Rotherham, back in League One, he wasn't really given a chance, so you can't really take that seriously. And last season, he didn't play at all, so I'm not sure his fitness is not the greatest, but we played him in the preseason. So he didn't do too well. That's a bit not too promising, but again, he needed match fitness in him. He marks opponents tightly as well, does not dive into tackles, so he's probably not going to give away a lot of cards, especially red cards. Could play defensive midfield if we could plug the gaps, if we needed to do that. So I'm really happy with our defensive signings and with our players, and we did sign that good defensive coach. Also, another defender here on loan, Brandon Hornstrup, who's on loan from... What's his parent club? He's on loan from Crawley. Yeah, on loan from Crawley, because I was looking previous season, he was on loan at Ebbsfleet in the conference. He played 12 games. Again, he wasn't amazing. But the seasons before that, look, Portsmouth. He played a few games in League 2, even in League 1, not too consistent, but he still was there. They didn't sell him immediately, and he was a bit younger. He would have came through like an 18, 19-year-old when the save starts, and he's natural as a left-back, could also play right-back, so could provide some competition to Fifield, a bit younger, fresher legs, and they don't want him anymore. He's like transfer listed, isn't he? Or he's back up now, but it said he was not wanted at all at the time we signed him anyway, so... Balancing his attributes, think he'd be good. He's quick, don't forget that. 14 pace and 12 strength. I think he'll be very good at left back for us. Obviously competing with Fifield, as I mentioned. Our next guy has a name that rhymes. I'm going to have fun saying this guy's name. Marcus Harness. It feels fun to say. He's natural on both wings, only right-footed, but that means he can play as a winger on the right side, but then we could use him as inside forward potentially. I've changed the normal roles anyway for the wingers to be wingers on support opposed to inside forwards, as it's harder to get those roles. It's harder to get wingers that are preferred on their opposite foot, like the wing they're playing on. Of course, there's some, but yeah, general wingers prefer to play as a winger, not inside forward. Of course, there's a few that do, but he looks like a decent player. Again, he's got just potential. I remember to be a good player in this division, being 23, not going to improve majorly. Previous season, he played League 2, and even first season League 1, didn't really get a look in, probably wasn't the quality. Then went out on loan to Conference North at Stockport, and he did well. He got a good rating, a good average rating. That's what I like to see. Only scored 1 goal, but he provided a few assists. That's good to see. I think this could be his season. He's had a few seasons now in League 2, and I think this could be the season he finds his feet, and he won't be a young player anymore. 23, going on 24. I think he can step up. Well, I hope to. I hope for him. I hope for him too. The next up, Craig Eastman. This guy, you might remember his name. He started as an Arsenal youth player and actually played 4 games in 2009-2010 season for Arsenal. So they thought he was a decent player, or he could have been a good player for them, but obviously didn't really progress as hoped. And he's more a defensive midfielder, but he's also not terrible as a central midfielder. Like, he's both natural in those positions. Like, he's got the good tackling, marking, but passing, vision is not too bad. He's a really good mix. Again, doesn't have too many weaker attributes, does he? Only penalty taking, finishing, and corners. Not really required attributes as such. I think he can be a good signing as well, but we've come to it. And he took 7 days later, Simon Thompson. I've got to say, it took a really long time to sign him. I moved for him. I offered his contract before... Actually, I offered some other guys who decided to join because there was a lot of interest for him. So we'll click on him and we'll see. And he is a regen. He's got that crazy beard going on and the hair as well. Solid report. He's 19. You can see he's on big wages as well, and we'll talk about that for a second because other teams were interested in him. We'll go through the coach report. He just seems average. Yeah? He just looks like he's going to be a player that's going to compete, maybe be our second best striker, maybe compete for the number one striker position. You might think we've got two regen strikers and then George Maris. We haven't really got a recognised goal scorer. But this guy, you'll have to wait and see till we get the potential report from our coach. But the scout report we got from him, from our scout that had 18 judging potential, he had potential to be a Premier League striker. No lies here. You just have to wait and see. And look, if anything would prove it, this would right here. Teams like Wigan and Leeds were interested in signing him. That's why I had to put some big money on the table for him. And I'll go into the personal more details in the contract now. There's a lot there, but you just got to understand that so many teams, like all of these teams had to offer, and even a couple other that their name is not even there anymore. There was like 6 or 7 offers tabled, so I had to give him money. There was teams, and I had to offer him as a key player because that was the only way he was going to join us. More money than he originally wanted anyway. It's nothing over the top compared to some other players at the club already. It's around the highest. But he's going to be amazing. He's one of those players. If you see other people do lower league management saves or whatever anyone else calls it, when you start in lower English leagues, and they get that player, and then eventually they sell them on for like 5 million or something. That's that player for me. This is my version of them. And I'm so excited what he's going to do. And again, I'll go to the contract and you can see there's big loyalty bonus, appearance fee, just everything, top goal scorer, everything like that. And we were able to, though, get an optional contract extension by a club for 3 years. That is major, especially for that reason. If bigger teams become interested or whatever, and his contract's running out, he's got a contract for 2 seasons, maybe the following season from this one, and he doesn't want to sign a new contract. Simon, we have a new plan. We can extend your contract for 3 years. So, obviously, no doubt that's big money paid for him, but we can afford to spend it. And especially with the rewards it will bring. He'll either help us get to the Premier League with that Premier League potential, or we could sell him on for something like 5 million plus. He's that kind of player for me. If you've seen people do that in the past, a regen with Premier League potential and they sell them on for millions, he could be that player for me. And just with that potential and the attributes he does have already, 14 finishing, if he has really, really good potential, Premier League, that could end up being 17 or 18. And he's got well-rounded attributes, physically fairly strong, and he's a stocky player. Look at that height and the weight as well. Look at that 100 kilograms. Oh, he's going to be special. He's going to be starting for me. I'm going to be playing so much. So, no doubt, yeah, that's an obvious thing. We paid him big money because I've had that situation in the past where bigger teams put offers in, and if you didn't improve, if you didn't up the ante by a lot, they just end up joining the team in a better division. So maybe, yeah, you might think that's a lot of money, but we wouldn't have got him if I didn't offer him that much. Or maybe I could have got it a little bit cheaper, but it's hard to really experiment with that. It's either, it's a one-shot opportunity. He's either going to join you or not. And I think the millions he could potentially bring, whether it be through selling him on in the future, even though I wouldn't want to if he's killing it and winning games for us and helping us get promoted, either way, we're going to get richer because of him. Yeah, whether it be getting promoted or selling him on. So leave your thoughts on all those signings, but namely Simon Thompson, because he could be something special for the club. And so, guys, we did get a couple offers here for Robinson. We'll accept both. They're both just 0. I tried to offer like 10k as well, so I just understand that. I just want to get rid of him, kind of, because he's unhappy. He lost my trust, so I think it's best for him to move on. And we've kind of got... He's decent. He's got decent attributes, really well-rounded, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. It didn't work out for him at the club. Even though he doesn't really like me, I'll just still, wish him well. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. Sometimes it happens in football. So, guys, we're finally going to get into the first game of the season in League 2 now. It feels amazing to say it, but we're going to get into it. I know Going through transfers took about half an hour, but hopefully you enjoyed it when I go really in depth with things, because that's kind of my style. Obviously, you saw last episode of the previous season, I got through 3 games, which was really good. I tried to get through it quicker, but this is my style, to be really in depth with it. So if you do enjoy that, where I go in depth about certain things, leave your feedback, drop a like on the video as well, but I'd love to see your thoughts. Also, do you like me going in depth and everything like that? But a good mix of both as well at the same time. I don't want to be seeming like I'm dragging on, but I want to be seeing what I'm talking about, as I think is really important. But yes, our first game is against Bury, and they're in 16th. Media prediction. Well, that's their media prediction, and where they finished last season, 22nd. I just want to view their players. Have they got a big squad? They've got an injury to Matty Folds at the minute. Just one injury, so it's not probably going to affect them too much. They didn't have the best of seasons last time out, so this could be a good opportunity. It's away from home, but I don't know. I'm a bit excited. I'm a bit excited by our chances here. I don't want to be too excited. Maybe there might be a bit of disappointment in that. But we're still rolling with the similar kind of formation. I don't really see reasons to change it, because the last season was really successful season. So really rolling with similar, apart from the wingers, basically playing with wingers to facilitate a few players like Kieran Richardson. I'm not sure is he going to be amazing because he's technicals, or is he going to be poor because of his physicals? We're going to find out, most definitely. That's the thing. He's also natural as a central midfielder, so if it doesn't work out wide, he could potentially be utilised as a central midfielder and maybe be decent. Well, we're going to find out today. I'm liking how the team set up. A few legends so far of this save. Sam Minahan, he scored some penalties. Jack Phillips is still there. Alfie Potter will be important. Not so a legend, but came in last season. But the team is very fresh, isn't it? And Simon Thompson, you'll see it, like I said, it will probably take a few weeks in, but he does have Premier League potential, and that got me really excited. I'll just, again, to prove you are a good scout that scouted him, we'll go to our staff scouting and transfers team. It was the old school, the guy we've had from the start, James Smith, and he's still only 28. I know he didn't have judging play potential when I signed him. I think it was 16 when I signed him. It's gone up to 18, so no doubt his potential is correct. He is, Premier League quality, or Premier League potential anyway, Simon Thompson. Can he show that today with his clinical finishing? He's going to be hard to defend because of his physical presence. Especially how tall he is and his weight. He's a stocky player. So I'm really intrigued to see how he goes. Oh, yeah, let's get into it. We do have... Leave your thoughts if you think our squad is big, or... Well, I don't think you would think it's small, or do you think it's well-balanced? Maybe a couple signing... And also, just so you know, a couple of younger players are not... Yeah, like Henry Collins, we didn't let him go. He's just un-21s. But you see, like, this striker with Premier League potential, he's the guy you probably wish Henry Collins was like. And then there's Sean O'Neill, Duncan Greenwood, you know, that under-18 striker we had. He's 20 now, but yeah, in the youth team, he was just smashing in goals. Sean O'Neill injured, Matthew Williamson and David Quinn. A couple of decent wingers that was part of the first team last season, but they're not. They may need loan spells out, or do you think they should just be there for backup? Leave your thoughts in the comments as well. So much to leave your thoughts on, but... Yeah, huge episode here. We'll get into it now, though. Big one. We'll go assertively. Come on, lads. Show everyone what you can do. I don't like saying good luck. I like saying go out there and pull off an upset, but I don't like saying good luck. That's like, you're not being expectant enough. Of course, I don't want them to expect to win, but yeah, that's too casual for my liking. And then assertively, there's a lot more to come from you, even though we haven't had a league game so far this season. There we go. Decent. For the only player to get nervous here for us is Kieran Richardson. Surely his experience, he played in the Premier League. How is he the only one that's nervous? I don't know. Again, we'll take off that league table. Won't need that. Someone's already at the top of the table. Obviously, they played their first game already. But anyway, what an occasion. League 2. See, I don't know yet. How good are we? With our signings. Can't get too excited. They have an early corner. Stevens dealt with that really well initially. They played out wide to Mayer. It's Chaplow. Please, no penalty. Oh, my heart was just sinking. It kept going down there. Thank God. It was defended really well, actually, not giving away a penalty. Now, Minahan. Oh, Potter. Could it be the Dream Star? Madison. Thompson. Oh, my God. You had to finish that, lad. Oh. No way. Maybe still... I guess his youth, and maybe he's the one that's seeming nervous. He couldn't finish that opportunity. But what? Talk about an opportunity. They're going to put it in, and Norris deals well. It wasn't a great cross, if we're honest. But that was an amazing opportunity. If we're honest, a guy 14 finishing probably should have finished for us, Thompson. Especially Premier League potential. Come on. I have expectations for you now to be a superstar for us. Oh, Stewart. This could be a decent cross this time, maybe. Oh, he's going all the way almost. Oh, my God. I thought that went in. That almost looked like it went in for a crazy own goal. Well, it's been an interesting start here, hasn't it? But I don't... Oh, they've had a few chances, but they're killing us in possession. Will Norris made some important saves. They're going to go team talk and say, oh, concentrate? Because they're just killing us at the minute. Maybe that... again, because I don't know... we'll see here. Set piece. Norris saves again. Really convincing. See, I don't know signing another defensive coach has helped that, but we haven't conceded through a corner, a cross, or a free kick yet. We've stopped those few chances, both the defenders, and the goalkeepers. Or the goalkeeper, I should say. You can't have more than one. Oh, maybe we need to, though, because they're going to get another opportunity, and it will probably only be a matter of time. Oh, and it had to be a tap-in. It had to be a tap-in, Cameron Stewart's. But again, Norris did really well there. That was an amazing save by Norris. I don't feel he could have done better. And then they just... It was a matter of time, as I mentioned. It was a matter of time before they scored. A bit disappointing, though, have to be honest. But they were just, kept coming at us. And it was always going to come. But look at that save. It was straight at him, but then... I hate conceding those goals. Because, is there a highlight? Can we get the goal back right away? I'd love that. Andresen. Eastman's. See, with these kind of signings, like our two centre-backs, they're League 2 quality. Then Eastman as well. Richardson, definitely. Oh, what was that? What was that? I was just about to say, with his Premier League experience, he won't make much errors, but his error, it led to the goal. Oh, but it's disallowed. Thank you. Richardson, what's your problem? I suppose he did come from Aston Villa, and you know how they're going in real life. At least we caught him offside, but again, regardless, it was still a crap pass. Okay, we need to make a change. We can't go shorter passing. We have to be more direct, higher tempo. I won't go attacking just yet. I don't want to, go too much. We'll just leave it like that for now. To be fair, they are dominating us. Really. Okay, it's Cop here. Oh, Madison, good interception. But he gave it straight away to the opposition, and they did the same here. Richardson this time. Be smart. There we go. Madison. It's straight to the goalkeeper. Right idea. It was the right idea, but unfortunately, not quite. Who's going to win the header here? Minahan. I like Minahan, but is he good enough for League 2? Mayer. Oh. Luckily, he tried the shot there. Yeah, had so many opportunities. 3 click-up chances so far. As I was going to say, no doubt we would face this season going in. It might be really hard. But then I thought, we did bring in a few players, like defensive signings. I think maybe apart from Minahan, because, we didn't sign him, obviously, this season. I'm not sure if he's League 2 quality. He's only out of those defensive players anyway. But the rest are good enough for League 2. I'd like to think, especially our centre-backs. But I think we're lucky. We're lucky going in 1-0, but we could have had our goal ourselves. That's the thing. In some games, we're not going to have many chances, and we're going to have to finish them. But we'll go assertively and say... Oh, what are we going to say? We can still come out of this match with a win today. We've got to give them confidence, because if we get another opportunity, maybe that will help. We'll say passionately, there's a lot more to come from you. Just, again, get the good reactions. Motivate the players. That's a big thing. I like motivating opposed to look happy. Obviously, you get look happy a bit more, but motivated, obviously, motivated to do something in the game. We still pick up some yellow cards, so the way we're set up as well is I guess we give away cards. But we're compact. Well, I tried to be. I tried to be strong defensively. Oh, I'd love to see a goal, though. Oh, come on. Win this back somehow. Richardson. Well done. And as I said, if Richardson doesn't do well out wide, maybe we could try him central midfielder. Thompson. Good pass. Richardson. He gives it away again. He can't pass. Oh, I say central midfield, but we'll rely on him to make more passes. It's going to be they're going to cross it in. Eventually. No, they're not. We need to see something. We need to see a chance. It's really hard, obviously. We're playing, I guess, a better team in terms of quality of the players. Oh, they play it through. It's going to be a goal now. You know what? I hate when you can see it, when you can tell the goalkeeper's not in a great position. Cameron Stewart. How good is this guy? Ugh. Yeah, you can tell we don't have a player of his quality, so he's like really, really quick. You can see he's a good signing for League One teams, apparently anyway. So that makes it even harder. We're playing it's a League 2 team. Don't forget we're a League 2 team ourselves now, but they have a player that would be good for the next division above. Come on, just show a goal. Something to get excited about for the upcoming season. Haven't seen it yet. Madison, oh, okay. This could be at Minahan. This is where he flourishes. Getting forward. Back to Madison. And now back to Minahan. Just get that ball in. Madison. Potter! What a finish. First goal of the season. And I thought he was a great signing last season in the conference. Because he is probably League 2 quality. And he showed that there with that powerful drive. Lumley got a hand to it, but no chance of saving. Gives us a bit of hope now. Thinking of changes, I'm not quite too sure. Kieran Richardson, I'm very disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed. And that's the thing. It's not his pace, which is his weakest attribute. He doesn't have that speed anymore. It's passing. That's his passing let him down. Do we bring on Harness? I think we should. I was thinking Mikhail, but not amazing quality. He's got a little bit of pace, but Marcus Harness he's got pace as well, and probably overall better player so far in his career. Got 2 yellow cards to central midfielders. We're going to bring on McGregor for Eastman. McGregor, you remember, he's one of those high potential types. Again, really balanced. Not specifically like he's still a really good tackler, but he's still got decent passing as well. So that was the same with Eastman. He's not like so clear, just a defensive centre mid type. He's still a decent passer, and we need that at the minute. We'll just go. I don't know. Yeah, let's go attacking. We got to try and get a goal back. We got to try and win it here. But we'll shoot on sight. And we'll look for the fullback. It's so hard to say because we're not playing with the inside forwards anymore, so we can't really rely on them as much to get forward past the wingers. The wingers are got to be the players to get the crosses in, even though they still get forward. Like you saw Minahan, and it wasn't so negative. They could still get forward. So yeah, no pressure on McGregor. Hopefully a goal could come. Thompson did pick up that yellow. We could bring on Barker, but yeah, because Thompson is like a special talent. I want to see him do something. This is his debut. They've had 5 clear-cut chances. They've been fairly dominant today. Yeah, can't hide behind that. We'll go assertively, and we'll say demand more. Let's look for this equalising goal. It's still a chance for it to happen. Even though, I'll be honest, they dominated us. I really do like to be honest. I don't like to be biased. They have dominated us here today. If that was us, I'll say, yeah, we've been killing it. Absolutely. And like 2 players who might consider sub here have been 2 of our better players. Madison has been crucial today. He's been really good in midfield. We're going to bring on Chris Barker. He's probably slightly more experienced, even though he's still like a young player. He's actually 1 year younger, but he seems more first team quality, like you saw by the report as well. Even though he's a year younger at 18, maybe he can come on and make an impact. He looks happy, but can he do it? That is the question. We probably need to put our wingers on attack now. Wingers on attack, and I'd like to think they could show something. Even instructions. We'll go route 1. Do we get early crosses in? Maybe. We'll hit some early crosses. And we'll see. and will be more expressive? Can that spark? And with Maddison, we'll put him on attack as well, because he's been a danger today. So the more he gets forward, maybe he could potentially score if he gets in a goal-scoring position. Maybe, but if we do lose, if it ends like this, it's not a terrible scoreline. 2-1. And normally I don't start the best of seasons, and it's disappointing there's no highlight in the last 10 minutes, apart from the pointless one here where nothing's going to happen. Because I want to see, normally there's goals in the last 10 minutes of games. But it's going to be 2-1, or could they make it? Nope. It's just 2-1. They couldn't make it 3-1. So it's disappointing to lose. I'll say assertively, and I'll say unlucky boys. I'll say I can't fault your effort. Nobody expected us to win, but you gave it everything. There we go. Again, I think the players did as well as they could. We scored a goal. Alfie Potter. We can be impressed with that. Because as I mentioned, we don't start too well to seasons generally, as players need to get match fit and everything as we ease into the season. We can start to get some wins. But it's going to be really hard to gain promotion this season, because to get promoted, you have to be a dominant team in the league. Probably can't see that happening if we get dominated away from home still, but against a team that's made a prediction only 16th and finished 22nd last season. But at the same time, you don't know their signings, so won't overreact to anything right now. But it was a tough start, but we showed a few signs, and a few players didn't show signs, or they showed negative signs. But yeah, I was impressed with a few players, I'll say. But I shall leave it here for now, because this episode has gone very long as it is. I know that, I went through the transfers really in depth, but that's because I made a lot of transfers and there was a lot to talk about. And the improvements of the club as well, talked about at the start of the video. Leave your thoughts on everything, how we're progressing. Maybe leave a thought where we could finish this season. Again, I'll play more games off camera, but because we've got a League Cup game next against Rotherham, no doubt it's going to be another hard game. It's away from home. They're 6th. Well, media prediction 6th. But we go to their position. They lost their first game. So if anything, that might help us in terms of the morale. But we lost our first game as well. So we're probably in the same boat as them. They should beat us. But either way, I will record that and upload that because I like showing cup games. But then, maybe I'll do 2 games in that episode. I will do 2. And if you go back to enjoying that, just leave your thoughts in that episode anyway. And then I still probably will play games off camera. And we'll just see how we progress through the season. As I do feel we have to make sure we have to consolidate in this division. And just to round off this episode, I just want to say, I noticed in the comments recently, especially the last couple episodes, that saying, when am I going to finish this series? How far are we going to go? That's the thing. The goal is to win the Champions League and Premier League. I want to say that clear now. So, if you see any comments like that, just reply, the goal is to win Champions League and Premier League. I've officially said that multiple times, and don't think I'm going to stop the series for whatever reason you might want to think of. But I'm loving it right now. There's no reason I would stop it. And if the last season I was saying maybe if I didn't get promoted, I don't think I could go through the season again. That's just because of the frustration. Of course I would have still done it if I didn't get promoted. It was just it's like a mental battle. We got to try and do it again and try and do it. That's how teams and managers would feel in real life, I would suppose. Doesn't mean I would stop it. So I just want you to understand that. But again, drop a like on the video. A lot more of this to come because I'm absolutely loving it where I'm taking FC United. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you guys in the very next episode.